So unless you're Earl, the world's greatest MLB The Show player, and just think hitting is incredibly easy, you actually probably think the opposite and think it's quite difficult, especially if you're new to the game. But that's what we're going to go through in this video. I'm going to give you some advice and some hitting tips to help prepare you, help make you a better hitter in online gameplay. But before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We post daily MLB The Show 22 news, tips, and gameplays. So if there's ever anything MLB The Show related you want to know, you'll find it on this channel. So hopping right into it, we are in custom practice, which I recommend you do before you go into any online game. If it's your first time on for the game, you should definitely spend about 10 minutes at least swinging at pitches, gain some practice in. It's the only way you'll get better. And of course, you need to have the right settings. So before you go into an online game, I always recommend that you play on Hall of Fame first. Spend about 5 minutes or so hitting on Hall of Fame level and then go up to Legend. The pitches are going to come in extremely fast. You're going to maybe think that you're not hitting so well, but after hitting on Legend and going into a ranked game where more than likely you're going to be on Hall of Fame or All-Star, the pitches are going to be coming in so slow that oftentimes you'll be early. But I think it's much easier to adapt from being early to being on time than it is from being late to being on time. If you're early, it means you're seeing the ball well and you have that time where you can wait back a little bit and then swing. Or if you're late, you're going to obviously have to start swinging sooner. And if you're already late, I feel like you're going to be guessing a lot. So start in Hall of Fame, then go to Legend. Hitting view, I use Strike Zone. Gives me the best view of the plate and it helps me recognize if a pitch is just off the plate for a ball or not. Hitting interface, always use zone. If you're not using zone, I recommend switching to it. Gives you something called a PCI, which is going to be this big yellow thing in the middle. That's essentially the barrel of the bat. You're trying to get that onto the ball. And basically it just gives you a lot more user input. Input type should always be buttons. Pci Anchor is new. We'll go over that in a little bit here, but have that turned on. Anchor dots on as well. And then PCI, you can really customize it to whatever you feel comfortable with. So try a couple of things. I use PCI center altitude. I have nothing on inner, and then outer I have on basic. Color, yellow, transparency, 100%. So the cool thing about the custom practice that is new, they implemented this last year, is you really can, well, customize it any way you want. So you can go at what you struggle with. For example, I'm not great against fastballs that are in this middle left-hand part of the plate. I'm okay at the high fastball and then the low fastball because I can just drop my PCI. But this middle part, I feel like I always drop it way too far. So I can have it sit right there so I can work on my timing on those pitches. And now with the PCI Anchor, oh shit, we got a first home run and I wasn't even ready. And now with the PCI Anchor, you can rest your PCI of where you think you struggle with. So if you do struggle with those inside pitches, you can put it right here. So it just kind of sits there and you can just work on timing. It's new. I feel like a lot of people aren't quite used to it yet, but it's something that I've adapted in my online gameplay and I'm really liking it. It's helping me kind of get to those pitches that I struggle with. But by just focusing on the pitches you're struggling with now, you're at least getting a good view of what the pitch looks like coming in, and then you're really working on your timing. So when you go into online games, these might not affect you as much. So I do that for a few minutes. Then generally, I like to mix it up with some other pitches that I struggle with. So I struggle with the outside part of the zone, let's say middle half as well. So now they'll be working inside, they'll be working outside, and I can work on that, righty on righty. So same thing at my PCI Anchor where I generally struggle with, but now they're going to be pitching inside on the middle half and outside on the middle half. So I'm going to have to work on my timing a lot on two different things. But spend some time on this, just kind of working on the things you struggle with it a little bit. Work on getting that PCI, especially if you're not used to it, on the baseball as best you can. This is on Hall of Fame. If you're at the beginning, you're going to play an All-Star, so it won't be as hard and as fast coming in. But outside pitches, work on taking the right field if you're a right-handed hitter. Like, see, that was a bad swing. That's probably going to be a line drive caught. If it's an outside pitch, I want to be a little bit late on it and try to take it to right. Or if it's inside, I got to be a little bit more early, take it to left field. Like, that's a decent swing. That's over to right field. That'd be a base hit. So after I spend some time doing that, working on the two things that I struggle with, one on the inside half, one on the outer half, then I'm going to switch it up to where he can pitch wherever he wants now. So we could be seeing anything here. Same difficulty, righty on righty, but this pitch could be coming anywhere and we miss a hanging slider. And you're going to spend a little bit more time on this. You're going to spend probably about 5 minutes or so. Get used to the timing, get used to getting your PCI on the ball. Dude, talking and hitting's hard as shit. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to switch over to legend and do the exact same thing. But before I do that, I like to usually have a couple good swings where I feel like I'm really hitting the ball. Like that's a deep drive and it's warning track power. Need to hit the weight room catch. So those are some good ways to get warmed up. But now to some hitting tips to help you actually in a game is a lot of people struggle with plate discipline. They're going to swing at everything like that. It's an outside pitch. We'd end up swinging at it, missing. Our ball in the dirt, we would be way out in front. We would swing at that and miss. You've got to be more patient when you're up at the plate. So usually I have my PCI in my wheelhouse, which I like low pitches. This way I can adapt really quick if it's a high pitch to just flick my PCI up, or if it's down, I'm ready for it and I can make some solid contact. That's where I've had my PCI all year, and that's how I usually react. But one thing with the first pitch or so, you want to have your PCI where your wheelhouse is. So somewhere you have the most confidence in where the ball is pitched and you know you can put a good swing on. And if it's not that wheelhouse, you don't swing the bat. So I'm going to keep my PCI down a little bit. It was up, probably a good pitch to swing at, but it wasn't in my wheelhouse. It's a 0-0 count, so I usually would take that pitch. Where that, I like that pitch, and I just laid a shit on it. But another thing you can do from a PCI standpoint is you can place your PCI where the pitcher's release point is. So if Verlander, his release point's going to be up there, and then you just tail the ball a little bit. So we're going to follow where this pitch goes, and we're able to put a decent swing on it and actually drive the ball a little bit. But if I have to move like from down here all the way down here, it's like you probably shouldn't swing at it. But this is gonna help you with tracking the pitch, just focusing on Verlander's arm, seeing where the ball goes. It's gonna help you with pitch recognition as well. And do this until you really start to get comfortable. You see my PCI's off, I'm a little bit early, so we still gotta work on our timing quite a bit. But then whenever you're ready, you're gonna do the same thing. But you're gonna switch things up and you're gonna go over to legend difficulty, and this ball's gonna come in fast. Actually, I think got a base hit first at bat. So even though it's coming in quick and you may not be, dude, what the hell is going on? I'm better at legend than I was Hall of Fame. So when you're on legend, you may not do too well. Same when you're on Hall of Fame difficulty, but when you go from this to All-Star, you're gonna see a catastrophic difference in your pitch recognition, also a huge difference in your timing. You're gonna be way early on a lot of those pitches. But as I said, you'd rather be very early than late. So I recommend trying this for about 5-10 minutes. And if you're doing it for Diamond Dynasty, bat with a team that has a player that you like to use. So for example, if you have Mike Trout, do batting practice with the Angels. This way you're getting really comfortable and used to Mike Trout's swing, so when you hop into a game, you already are prepared for that. Or like now I'm using Andrew McCutchen. I don't have a single Andrew McCutchen card on my team, nobody with even a similar swing. So the timing and everything's just gonna be way off and way different. So there's a lot of different things you can do to prepare before you hop into a game. And also I wanna give credit to Zach Stone for mentioning this to me, because I think this is a great way to prepare for online gameplay. But if you're like me and think Conquest is boring as shit, like initially I wasn't gonna do the Nation of Baseball Conquest map, but I've started to do it because Zach pointed out to me that a good way to prepare for going into an online game is to going through Conquest gradually, like maybe a game a day, if that. But when I play the game, see I've beat a couple here, even if I can play on rookie, I'm playing on either Hall of Fame or All-Star difficulty. These games are going to be a little bit tougher, but for CPU, you should still win. And you're really getting prepared for the pitch speeds that you're about to see when you go into ranked seasons, BR, events, or any other online game mode. So it's a good way to practice, get you prepared for online, and eventually you will complete this Nation of Baseball Conquest map, which does have some decent rewards in it. Also, last one I want to talk about is Challenge of the Week. I haven't really played it this year. I know I used to do this as a warm-up in previous MLBs, but basically every week they have a different challenge. This time it's Jose Barrios versus Aaron Judge. You're gonna go up there with Aaron Judge on dynamic difficulty. Essentially what that means is every time you make harder contact, hit the ball a lot better, the difficulty starts to go higher. So you'll start all the way at the bottom on rookie, but eventually it'll get up to legend. You just can't exceed a certain amount of outs. I think it's 3 outs and you'll only get outs from strikes, so foul balls or swings and misses. But this is a great way to build up starting at rookie and start to gradually build you up towards legend. Plus you can earn some sick rewards if you're actually good at this. Shohei Ohtani autographs, that's fucking sick. But there you have it, boys. Those are some hitting tips and some ways to practice, get you prepared for online, help you become a little bit better. The biggest advice I can give is just to be a little bit more patient and to practice. If you hop on right away first game of the day and you just go right into ranked seasons, it's usually not gonna go well. So hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.